Hey, Tracy's Place fam. It is good to be back with you all. It's been a while, and some of you have messaged me and just to check on me and everything, and I appreciate that so much. I am doing okay. I am doing okay. Um, on the title, it says, how I'm feeling, you know. So I'll get to that in a second. What I do want to do is share with you my mother. A lot of you all know my mother has passed away. Um, and I thank all of you for your prayers, condolences. Well, just, I can't even explain everything. You all were just awesome. For gifts, for just everything. I appreciate you all so, so much. So now I want to share a little bit about my mother in appreciation. Just want to share a little bit about her to you because I'm very proud of my mother and things that she has accomplished in her life, the way she lived her life. And I just want to share a little bit about her. I've never, just you've seen her on family videos and different things, but I've never specifically talked about her. So I just want to share a little bit about her. And you probably hear a little bit about my dad too. He passed away about 16 years ago in 2004. And yeah, so I just want to share a little bit about her. I'm not going to show all the information, but this was her obituary. That's my mom. So hopefully you can see that. I just covered up some of the information. Her homegoing was this past Saturday, the 8th, August the 8th, last Saturday. And I'm going to just let you know a little bit about her. Her name was Lula, and she was born in 1933 in Mississippi. We lived in Cleveland. She moved to Cleveland when she was about 20 years old, or about 19 or so. And she met my father. And my father was from Mississippi as well, but they met in Cleveland. You all know when the Great Migration happened back in the 40s and 50s and things, and parents back then were sending their children up north away from the segregated South. So they were part of that Great Migration. So my parents both lived in Mississippi. They didn't know each other then. They met each other in Cleveland. And so they met and got married, and then we moved to southern part of Ohio in Cincinnati. So they had 4 children, and I'm just going to read a little bit, just the snippets, highlights of the things about her life. I won't read the whole obituary because it's long. But she was very involved in a lot of key areas. She was involved in her church, her home, of course, in the children's school, her children's school, which included me, her grandchildren and great grandchildren's school. Also, she was a part of the business community. She owned her own business. So she was in her church choir member, Sunday school teacher and superintendent, secretary of the Missionary Society, senior usher board and secretary and president, the trustee board, she was supervisor of the junior usher board, head of food and clothes drives, and a director of Vacation Bible School for over 30 years. That was in her church over the course of her church life, while she was active in church, from when she was 14 on up until she passed away. Those were some of the positions that she held. In her community, she was a member of the street club in Cleveland, just, being present in the community. Let's see, she was a member of our community council in the neighborhood we grew up in our neighborhood when I was coming up here in Cincinnati, for over 30 years. So she was part of the community council. She served as a representative to the health committee and the Neighborhood Business Districts United Incorporated. As a volunteer in the school district, she was always at our schools, always. I could do nothing. But my mother was a room mother all of the time. So she was also part of the PTA and the PTO. She was chairperson for fundraising committees at the school. She was a campfire leader for my 2 sisters when they were, because they're a little older than me. She was a campfire leader. She was a library volunteer at our schools. president of Ways and Means. Her and my father received the J.C. Penney Golden Rule Award for the Extra Mile. Oh, and the Extra Mile Award from the Public School District. Let's see. She attended millinery school, which is the making of hats, like church hats, fancy hats like that. She learned how to make them. So she went to school for that in 1966 to 1968. Let's see. She created hats, headwear, and fancy handkerchiefs. She owned a boutique. After I graduated, I said about a year after I graduated, she opened up her own boutique and was there for 25 years. She opened up a brick and mortar. At first, she did it from home. While we were growing up, she would have little parties at the house, little ladies gatherings and whatnot for neighbors and church members and things, and they would come over and see her creations and buy hats at her hat parties. And then a year after I graduated from high school, she opened up a brick and mortar building, and she was there for 25 years. So she had a boutique with all the fancy church hats and different things. I will try to put some pictures up. I'll try to do that. And this is one of the hats that she has made. So I brought that one home. This was one that was at her house. It was like when she closed up her shop, she brought her little shop home and it was in the basement. She made this hat and purse sometime in the mid 60s, I believe. So she made purses too, but she made this purse and this hat. She made this one years ago. It's light blue. It's so pretty. But it's kind of old, but anyway, I got it from her house. So I'll be wearing that sometime or another. And there's another. And this is the one that I wore to her funeral. So this is one of the hats that was at her house, and that she made, and I wore it to the funeral. And I'll insert a clip of that here. And this was another one of her hats. This was a personal hat of hers. She wore this to her 75th birthday party. I think that was in 2010 or something like that. 2009, 2008 maybe. But yeah, this is her personal hat, and I brought this from her house, so I'll be wearing this. This is so pretty. But we had a big birthday celebration for her 75th birthday, and this is the hat she wore to her party. But yeah, so she was the epitome. A lot of people at the funeral referred to her, and I referred to her as a Proverbs 31 woman, because she not only took care of her household, what she was supposed to do as a wife and mother, but she was involved in the community, in the church, in the business arena. She was a true Proverbs 31 woman, and she was on the quiet side for the most part. I mean, you didn't run over her or anything, but she was not a boisterous woman or anything. She just went about doing her business. What she felt the Lord had called her to do, she did it, and in a sweet and humble manner. But like I said, you weren't gonna run over her either, because she would speak up. But she was not in any ways, you know, she was just a good woman, a sweet woman, very lovable, and we were so proud of her. So very proud of her. So that's a little bit about my mom. And her and my father were married for 49 years. They were almost married 50 years. They were going to have a big 50th year celebration. But my father passed away 2 months prior to their 50th wedding anniversary. So that was very, very sad time for us too. But anyway, like I said, I'm doing fine for the most part. I have my sad times, and we have a lot of good times though, because my siblings are still here. I have two out of town, and then me and my sister live here. And for the homegoing, the only one great grandchild didn't make it. He had to work and wasn't able to find anybody to take his place. He lives out of town. But anyway, other than that, everybody, all the family, as far as her children, grandchildren, great grandchildren, and great great grandchildren were here. Yeah, so we had an awesome, awesome time. One thing that helped me to feel better too was after the funeral that Monday morning. Now, I don't get super spiritual, deep dreams and, different things like that. But that Monday morning after the funeral, I had a dream that okay, it was after the funeral. In the dream, it was after the funeral, and I was at my mother's house, and we were just, going about doing what we were doing, cleaning and stuff, and the ladies were in the kitchen cooking or something. And I was sitting down, and my cell phone rang, and it was my mother. The caller ID popped up, and it was my mother, and I was like, "Mama, oh my goodness!" So I answered the phone. I didn't say hello. I was like, "Mama," and she said, "I just wanted to call and let you know I made it all right." So that was just everything. That was everything. And so I asked in the dream, I asked her a couple more questions. She didn't answer, directly those questions or anything. She just was happy. And if I could have saw her, it wasn't a FaceTime video in the dream. It was just a call, but it sounded like she was smiling and things. So she just said, "I just called to let you all know that I made it all right." And I said, "Mama, where are you?" And she just kind of chuckled a little bit, and she was like, "Mm-hmm." And I said, "What are you doing?" And she did not answer directly, just answer, just like, "Mm-hmm." And then the dream ended, and that was it. And I just said, God will send you, whether you feel or not, but just confirmation or either something to make you feel better, to comfort you. So I just took that as a sign from God that she has made it. She has made it, and I believe that she is with her Heavenly Father. And, a lot of people say, and I even said this at the funeral, a lot of people, in the Bible says, it does not contradict itself, but there's two expressions, and some people from those expressions believe that either you're to be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord, or people say, you're just resting and you're just sleep until the Lord returns. So, I was like, I don't know. I'm not positive. I'm not going to say I know every single thing, but it just gave me comfort that night when she passed away that her and my dad were together. That's just something you hope and you dream of, and you just think of those reunions that are happening in heaven when, a saint or loved one that is saved passes on. So that just gave me comfort that night when she passed away. I just went to sleep thinking, oh my goodness, she's seeing my father, her sisters, her in-laws, her mother, her father, all that good stuff. So that was an awesome feeling for me. But anyway, what have we been doing these 2 weeks since my mom passed? We have been cleaning out her house. My mother kept everything, and oh my goodness, oh my goodness, everything. And I'm not saying just, ooh, Lord have mercy, just everything. Um, she had things from when she was little, from Mississippi, things from Cleveland, and then things from here where we live at here now. So the house is just, oh my goodness, full, and we have to clean it out. Now she had all her arrangements made and everything, which was wonderful for us children. We didn't have to go and pick out, her casket and stuff like that. She the obituary was basically written, as far as just what she wanted in there, and she told us what color suit she wanted to wear, and the colors were pink. We wore pink, white, and like grayish silver, and so she was in like a really really pink, pretty. I'm sorry, I'm going too fast. A really pretty salmon pink suit and hat and shoes, and she had her little gloves in her hand and everything. And my niece was able to do, which her granddaughter, my niece did her hair all the time anyway. She would go to her house, and she was her personal hairdresser. And then the funeral home did her nails just a little bit too dark. My mother didn't wear dark nail polish, so I just kind of redid her nails, and they were, pretty lighter color. So we were able to do that the day before the funeral, and that was made me and my niece feel good. So that was wonderful. But anyway, we've been cleaning out the house. The grandkids, great grandkids, and great great grandkids are gone back home now, and my two siblings from out of town, they're still here. So we're still going through the house and everything. I've just been really really busy. A lot during before the funeral. I was there a lot. Past couple of days, I haven't been there as much as them, and I have to take my hats off to them because they're still going through the house and stuff. But Jalen's getting ready to go back to school, so we just did shopping today and everything. I had to do stuff with Isaiah this week, and he's about to go back to school. I had to fill out final forms and all that stuff. There's just a lot of stuff going on, so that helps keep me busy. So I have grieved, I believe, and still am grieving, but I am also at the same time busy. All the other things that I'm busy with is helping to occupy my time and somewhat keeping my mind off of it, but I still feel it in my heart, of course. Um, and overall, you all, other than sometimes being sad, I miss her, but I'm thankful also. My overall feeling is that I'm grateful. I'm grateful to have had a mother and a father that were very present in our lives. They were always there. Just overwhelmingly so. And I don't mean in a bad way, I mean in a good way. They traveled with us. They took us, traveling. We were a traveling family. My father had two conversion vans to where we had like the bed in the back, the table, all that stuff. We had a TV in one and just all that stuff. And we weren't rich by any stretch of the means. We were, just we were not rich. But with what we had, they made, oh goodness, a wonderful life for us. And the things we didn't have monetarily and material things, we had a lot of love. We had a lot of laughter. We had a lot of, like I said, vacations and traveling. And we just did a lot of stuff together as a family, not just them and their children, but when the grandkids came along and the we still always were together and we enjoy each other so much. So I am grateful to have had that, and we are so thankful to my mother and father for instilling values, in us, that we just kind of try to keep the love going. And we're not exactly like our parents, but all four of us children do have a lot of their characteristics and their laughter and their ways of doing certain things. But we are so thankful for that too. So yeah, that's basically it. Just wanted to tell you all, somewhat about her. She was a stay-at-home mom for the most part but she was a businesswoman at the same time. So that's what I got from my mom. I always liked to stay at home. I did work outside of the home. I held a few full-time positions. A lot of the time was part-time positions too, because I did not want to work when my children were growing up. I did not want to do that. I wanted to be as present as I could, like my mother was. And I tell you, they sacrificed because my father did not want her to work. He wanted her there with us. So that's what they did. And like I said, my entrepreneurial spirit is from my mom and my dad too. He worked a full-time job, but he also did side things, like he would clean gutters, he would cut lawns, all that. But even though they were busy people, they were very present in the community, and there are so many people that remember them for being present in the community at their churches and different things like that. But they were present in our life. We were always with them. Always. So the places that they go, the things that they did, we were right there along with them. I remember, my mother would be in Bible study and, different things like that. And I'd be right there. And that's where I got the love of the Word of God from my mother. My mother she was always reading her Bible all the time in her Sunday school commentary. And she was always praying. I used to always see her on her knees at the side of her bed. It seems like a lot, just all the time. And we joked that my mother never slept. It's like, so when we went to bed, she was up. If I got up, I didn't like to sleep. I did not like to go to sleep. And I'd wake up several times in the middle of the night, and I'd be like, Mama, I can't sleep, Mama, blah, blah, blah. And she'd come, rub my back, and I'd go back to sleep, wake up again. But it just seems like she was always up. And it's not like I had to call her a million times. You know, it was like, I was like, Mama, I can't. And she was just like right there, it seems like. Their bedroom was down the hall, but it was like she was just right there quick like this. And when I got up early, she was up. I mean, she was just always doing something, always busy about the work of her home, the community, the church, and her in her business. So she led a full life, a full life. And she loved us kids and grandkids, and she loved people. She was a giver. And we found out, even, we found receipts and checks, all that stuff. She was a giver. She was a true giver, and she would just give to people. And people even said, at her funeral, she was always, when people died or passed away at the church, she was making sure people had food, the bereaved family, and just things like that. So I'm not going to go on and on and on. I could go on and on and on about her forever, because she did so much. And she was a bright spot, in our lives. So, I will tell you more about her probably coming up to, not more about her, but as far as what was wrong, what parts of the reason why she passed away. I won't go in depth, but some people need to know about some things. Like I always say, I pass along information so that other people can know. So, some things that she was going through at the end stage of life. Her illness was very quick for the most part. After it basically just took a toll on her after Memorial Day of this year. So I just kind of want to share some things with some of you who may be facing this, or may be facing it in the future, so you can see warning signs of different things, or whatever like that. Okay. All right, I know I rambled a little bit. I apologize. But yeah, I am grateful overall. I will miss her, but I am grateful that she was here, and I'm grateful that she didn't have to go into the hospital, because I was going to get a doctor that morning that she passed away, and she had already passed when I got there in her sleep. So we just believe if she had gone to the hospital, they probably would have, if I had taken her to the doctor, they probably would have taken her to the hospital, and she did not want that. She didn't want to be hooked up on any machines, feeding tubes, or anything. And we just believe she went on her own terms, and she went peacefully in her sleep, and she just looked like she was just laying there, just asleep. And she just went on to be with the Lord. So, yeah. So that's all. And I love you all. You all be blessed. And I don't know which section of the video I will insert the videos, maybe now, or either I might have done it already. I don't know. I'm a little discombobulated right now, so I haven't done a video in a while. So I'm just happy to be back with you all. I just wanted to share a little bit about my mother with you. All right, you all be blessed, and I will be back with more videos. I'm going to do some videos of when my family was here from out of town, and some of us, cleaning out the house, and some of them went, after the funeral, they went paintballing, and because we were all here together, a good 30, 35 of us or whatever, and mostly everybody stayed at my mom's house, and that was from out of town, and they just had a ball. We had a ball, but, they stayed at the house, and so I was there every day. I have been at my mother's house every day since she passed away, and a lot of the times up until last week, it was every day, just about all day. So I'm good and tired. We're about, like I said, we've been at getting stuff for Jalen. She's about to go back to school, and we've been gone for 9 hours shopping for her apartment, and I'm worn out. I'm tired. My sister said it's just the stress of everything coming out now. So it's like my eye sockets hurt, and I'm just blah. But like I said, I'm thankful, I'm grateful, and y'all pray for me. And I thank you all for sending me emails and all the things that you have done. You all be blessed, And I'll see you guys next time right back here on Tracie's Place. And I'll come back with a couple, probably 2 more videos, somewhat about the funeral, actual footage, and not anything, in depth or nothing, but just, just kind of my family and stuff. And then also, with my family, just getting together, us enjoying each other. I didn't do anything um, personal, because I just, that was personal time for my family. But I'm going to share a lot of the laughter, a lot of the just what we were doing these past 2 weeks, and I just want to share that with you because I know a lot of you all expressed loving to see that. All right, so be blessed. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.